Hey, plumbing bros. Welcome to Potty Talk Live, where we take it into the trenches, the crawl spaces, the basements, the kitchens and baths, all around this world of ours to talk to plumbing pros just like you. Hey there, I'm Richard Behney, the $1 Million Plumber, coming at you live from Command Central here in Indianapolis, Indiana. Hey, we have a great show lined up here. We got an outlaw in the house. All right, we got an outlaw all the way from Mesa, Arizona. We'll be bringing him on here shortly here. But I got a question for you. In fact, I got 3 questions for you. Hey, sweetheart. All right. Hey, the lovely Laura's walked in here. You gonna join the party too? All right. She never misses one of my shows here. All right. I'm glad you're here. Hey, get back to the point here. I got 3 questions for you. Are you a guy that has a plumbing license? All right, do you have your plumbing license? Do you have a plumbing truck? All right, you got a plumbing truck, and do you have a plumbing dream? All right, your own plumbing dream to take over the plumbing world, at least in your part of the world. All right, hey, if you have those 3 things, hey, I want to help you out. I get it. I've been there, done that. A lot of the guys we talk to, been there, done that. All right, hey, but there's some things you got to know. All right, and I want you to know those things. There's 7 must knows to be $1 million plumber. 7 must knows to be $1 million plumber. I want to get that special report into your hands. And here's the thing. They're not only things you got to know, but they're free. All right, they're free. I'm going to give these things to you. The 7 must knows free. All you need to do is type free in the comments. That's FREE. And I'll get that special report right out to you, all right? You got to know these things, all right? If you don't know them, it's going to be the difference between success and failure, all right? So if they're free, so, hey, there's no risk there, all right? Just type free in the comments, and I'll get that report right out to you. All right, hey, let's do it here. I'm anxious to bring this guy on. I've been looking forward to speaking with this guy. We have Mr. Bishop Flower. He is a service manager of Iconic Plumbing Services out of Mesa, Arizona. Hey, Bishop, how you doing, man? I think he's coming to the broadcast room right now. All right, come on, let's get him on in here. There we go. Hey, Bishop, how you doing, brother?
Pretty good. How are you?
All right, man, I'm doing great. Hey, you ready to rock Potty Talk Live?
I am. I'm ready to do it.
All right. There we go. Hey, I got to ask before we get into the, into the plumbing stuff here, tell us a little bit about yourself, and starting with your name. You got a cool name. Is Bishop your real name?
No, Bishop's not my real name. Jimmy Espinoza is the one that gave me that nickname. Back when we started the Outlaws, I added him there, and he kind of joked around with me, because of the church we belong to. And he calls me Bishop, and it kind of stuck. It works for the group well. If you really know me, my name's Justin. But everyone calls me Bishop. I can't go nowhere without someone yelling Bishop. Sometimes my kids feel like they call me Bishop now.
Yeah. Well, it's a cool name. A lot of us guys would relate. So you're in Jimmy's house. That's right. That's you work with Jimmy. So
yeah.
We talk with Jimmy and Jimmy's an outlaw, and then Iconic. You work for Iconic. You're service manager for Iconic Plumbing Services, right? All right, there we go. Well, I can so relate to that. The shops I worked in, a lot of us had names, and even my shop, we gave my guys nicknames and all that. And most of the time, they were pretty cool, and you got a cool one. So, well, good, man. Well, tell us a little bit about how you got started into plumbing.
About 17 years ago, I was going to school to be an EMT, and one of the guys in the neighborhood needed help, Gary Shaker, and I started working with him, and a year goes by, I was going to school and working with him, and I was like, I'm making more money doing plumbing than I will be a firefighter, so I just the plumbing.
There we go, man. And so with what attracted you to plumbing? I mean, what's your what's your thing? What's your expertise in plumbing then?
Troubleshooting. I had so much fun fixing the problems, showing up to someone's house, they had an issue. You're the hero at the end of the day. Not when it's time to collect, but when you fix their problem, you're the hero. So it was a good feeling. And it just came for me.
Like the troubleshooting side of things. That's a key element of what we do. And so, what is something about troubleshooting that is something that we need to know when troubleshooting that maybe we don't think about a lot, or just, and certainly for the young guns, and remind us old dogs, what's something that we need to remember when we're troubleshooting?
Just take your time and think. Don't just spout off the first thing that comes the easiest route, because sometimes you're going to make yourself look foolish if you're going to fix something, a leak, and you think it's a tub spout dripping, but in reality it's the shower valve dripping down, and you fix the tub spout. 3 days later they call you, hey, it's still leaking. Just take your time, be thorough with your work, double check your work. Nothing's worse than a recall.
Oh, definitely, man. And it's so, we can get in that rut, can't we? I mean, that's, I had to catch myself at that at times. And of course, remind, that was something I always worked at, reminding my guys is, especially if you're really good. I mean, it's so easy to kind of take things for granted, and you start seeing the same kind of things, but never take it for granted. Make sure you spend the time, diagnosing the problem and checking all the bases.
Correct.
Yeah, that is so true. Well, when you when you got started, you decided to get into plumbing. Well, what was something that that surprised you? You decided to make take the leap and make that your career. But when you got going, what's something that something you weren't expecting?
The long hours. It's like I grew up, thinking, being a young kid, plumbers, all they do is fix toilets and,
right.
do stuff like that. But plumbers are heroes at the end of the day. When you're working on hospitals or big commercial buildings, a whole apartment complex with no water, you have 300 people yelling at you to turn that water on. The second you get it on, you're the hero. Everyone's applauding you. You're the one
Right.
digging a hole in the middle of the winter, freezing, soaking wet to fix their water main. It was a lot different from where I was heading in life. I thought I was going to squirt down houses that were on fire and get cats out of trees.
Right.
I'm running a cable barehanded because I lost my gloves 2 calls ago, and I'm too far to go get new gloves.
Right. Oh, but I can see it in your personality. It doesn't surprise me you're going from EMT to plumbing, and certainly on the service side of things, because you come across as really calm. Even though I imagine there's times, we all have those times where you're just about ready to lose it inside. But it's important just to kind of remain that in control of the situation, to be able to get that problem solved, and to be able to your example, get that water back on for that hospital, for that apartment complex.
Yeah, you can. Yep. Let yourself get overworked. You'll make your job so much harder. You're out over something. It's always best to go outside, make a phone call, eat a cookie, something. Just come back and try to do it calm. If you're already stressed out over something, you're just going to make your job harder.
Isn't that the case? Yeah, we have here, Frank has a comment here, not all heroes wear capes. That's so true. A lot carry channel locks, or something like that, But yeah, you just brought up, it's so important to, take those times when the job seems like it's getting the best of you, and just catch your breath and go out to the truck and relax, because just beating your head upside the wall, you just, you don't get anywhere with that,
Right.
But what on, just kind of get a little real here. I know we got our brothers watching and that kind of a thing, but we've all been there, and I get a lot of emails and instant messages, asking this kind of question. So this comes from guys, and they just want to hear this. What about what about in plumbing do you struggle with? What's a situation that's difficult for you?
Electrical. Electrical is my worst thing. I hate it. But I absolutely hate wiring up boilers, pumps, control panels. I hate wires. For one, I'm always electrocuted, so I don't like it at all.
I know. I really so relate to that. I've about blown myself up a few times, and and so I'm usually pretty fearless, and I think I hear this from a lot of guys. I can almost crawl through a sewer, with no problem. But when I start looking at those wires, I start getting freaked out a little bit.
times, like, I'll go check the breakers and just make sure, all right, I got them all off. And I have that dummy stick. Even though I shut it off 30 minutes ago, I'm still checking.
Yep.
I got zapped early in my career by grabbing a water heater whip that was hanging down. It was live, and it hurt. I didn't want to do that again.
Yep. Yeah, we have a tendency to learn from that if we live through it. Hey, what about you guys that are watching? Hey, Bishop was just real. Share with us. Something that you struggle with in your business. We all like to know that we're not alone, because it's probably something we struggle with as well. So, well, Bishop, where in so where do you picture your plumbing career being a year from now?
Iconic is just growing so good. Like,
yeah,
positive. We just started up in Austin last week, so we have a new division in Austin. I would like to just keep going to new states and working and starting. We have such a positive environment here that it's contagious. A lot of people asking, hey, can we work for you? We've had guys move from different states to come work here. We went over to another fellow outlaw in Texas, and we're going to help him run his company and bring in more plumbers and just make more money. I just want to keep growing and growing and growing.
Cool. So are you helping? Have you gone to Austin? So you're doing that kind of thing?
I'm going to Austin on May 4th to meet a bunch of outlaws. We're going to have dinner with, I think there's about 30 or 40 of us going to dinner that night. We got some things to set up there while we're there. We already have a couple big projects lined up. Jimmy and I will be bouncing back and forth to handle Austin till it's, rolling smoothly. And then we'll try to run it from here. We might have to promote someone into like a service manager position over there eventually. But right now it's two guys, so we can manage it by flying in and out of town.
Well, you guys definitely have something, cooking pretty cool there. Been checking things out or whatever, and enjoyed talking with Jimmy, and it's fun hearing what's going on in the Outlaws here. And guys, if you guys that aren't familiar with the Outlaws, Outlaws a member site that these guys are part of on Facebook, and so it's one of these group sites that you can be part of. And group sites are an important thing to be involved in and with. They're all unique. I think you would agree with that, Bishop. Everyone has like a little different personality. And so you gotta kind of, fit their mold. So don't walk in expecting them to change it to fit your mold. All right. But it's, you can find a good group to be part of. And, Outlaws is a pretty cool group. And a lot of guys are part of, different groups. Multiple groups, Yep. But it's a good thing to be around. So I highly recommend Outlaws is one that's pretty cool and is pretty supportive of their members here. So what do we have? We got a question here from the studio audience here.
How did they reach out to someone in Austin, just with them being in Arizona? How did that transpire? It'd be interesting.
Oh, this question comes from the lovely Laura, who's in the house here. So this is direct to Bishop. All right. Yeah. So my wife, Laura, was very much involved in our business. So she's keying in on a couple of the things that you said about the business. So how's Iconic Plumbing reaching out to other plumbers in Texas? How are you doing that? How'd that happen?
All through Outlaws. We do so much networking through Outlaws. It's a solid group of guys. We're a little bit rougher on the edges. It's not for everyone. But we network so much. Frank DeMonte, who commented about it, he's from New York, and we met him on the Outlaws, and he was a very active member on the page. He came out here. We worked out some issues with him. He's one of our solid techs here. He's running a remodel right now. Frank Cornell's from Louisiana. He owned his shop out there. He's closing his shop down, and he actually started work last week for us here. A lot of we can tell what kind of people are to hire them just through Outlaws. We've turned down jobs because of the way they comment and post. We don't like to bring negativity into our company at all. We're all friends. We all like to keep it that way. We don't want to, everyone's going to have a bad day and you're going to hate someone, or not hate, I'm sorry, dislike day. But we try to just move past that. And Outlaws is the best networking thing for us ever. I mean, we have 40 Outlaws meeting down. It's a job interview is what it is. We're going to get to know these guys. We're going to know which ones can work for us that would bring positive workforce and which ones are just going to be negative and not worth our time.
There we go. So there you hear it, guys. You know, if you're looking at what they are, it's, you know, it's a great networking opportunity, and obviously the Outlaws, you know, are looking. Sounds like looking for a few good men, right? All right, they want men, not boys.
Correct.
No mama drama. No place for that. All right, gang. Hey, we're going to be right back with Bishop here. We're going to give him a chance to catch his breath before we hit him up on the lightning round. Hey, we need to have a word from our sponsor. And today's episode sponsor is from my private coaching. Hey, I'm sponsoring directly myself today here. So got a couple questions here for you. You know, how would you like to have just bypassed all the years and, you know, you could have got your journey's license, you know, within just a couple months and at the most important part of know everything that you would need to know in that period of time. You know, we'd all love that, right? Well, it's on the business side of things, it works the same kind of way. It can take years and a lot of money to kind of figure the business side of your plumbing business out here. But you don't have to go through that. You can use a coach, all right? Business coach. A lot of successful people do it. Professional athletes do it. I think on the side, one of my favorite professional athletes is Michael Jordan. You know, the guy arguably was one of the best basketball players of all time, but he used a coach, and not the guy sitting on the sidelines or whatever, but used a coach to work on his game throughout his whole career. And so if it works for those guys, it'll work for you as well. And it works for a lot of successful people. So right now I've opened up some time slots in my coaching, and I'm offering a free 15-minute consultation where we can just feel one another out. You know, boy, that doesn't sound too good like that way. My wife says, hey, find a different way of putting that. Hey, but it's a lot like what you see with the Outlaws here. You know, it's a little bit of a job interview on both our parts, you know. Do the personalities work out? Is it a good fit? So it's very simple. We just have a conversation and see if we're a right fit to take your plumbing business to the level that you want it to be. All right. So simply type in 15 in the comments and type, looks like this word for this week is champ. Type champ, which I like better. Champ. Yeah, there's a better word. Type champ. All right. So own it. Not chump. Not chump. You know, there's a difference between being a champ and a chump. Type champ there in the comments, and we'll make the connection and get you scheduled for your free 15-minute consultation with me, the $1 Million Plumber. All right, let's get Bishop back in the house. Let's get back to the fun stuff. All right, hey, you ready for the lightning round?
Ready.
Mr. Flowers, you ready to go? All right, here we go. Let's do it. All right, are you a flat rate guy or a time and material guy, and why?
Time and material. I put a lot of do not exceeds on our tickets, though, when they do need a price.
Okay.
Because we can knock a job out faster. I don't want to charge them that whole amount. I'd rather give them a deal. We made our money. Here you go. Use this again. Not just charge you double just because I gave you that price to begin with.
All right, there we go. So you got your time covered, time and material, but you have like a stopgap.
Yeah.
Kind of a thing.
Some properties we do need a worst case scenario price.
There we go.
You know, if it was a $3,000 job and we got it done and profited at $1,300, you're going to get a $1,300 bill.
There we go. Okay. All right. Hey, it's working for Iconic. And it can work for you too there. So I hope you guys are listening up. All right. Hey, share a personal habit that sets your day up for success.
Oh, man. Every day just talking to the guys. I mean, they come in the office. I have couches and chairs in here. We all tell our stories of the night, our day, just being positive. You know, when you can tell when someone's having a bad day, I might single them out, pull them around the corner and ask them if everything's all right. Just make sure that they know, hey, we're here for you. Even if it's personal, we're here to help you out as best as we can. You know, if you're having a bad day, we're all going to have a bad day.
There we go. And keeping it real, keeping it somewhat. Hey, we all got a job to do, right? We got to fight the fight. But hey, we touch base in the morning and just let them know that we're, working together. I always said, with my guys and even the shops I worked in, it's not that you're best friends with everybody. There's other guys you get along with better than others and that kind of thing. Hey, but you're a family, right? I mean, you're all, you're in the trenches together. And so just be, all right, man. Touch it. There we go. Let's see. Okay, outside of a paycheck, what's the best thing a plumbing company that you've worked for has done for you? That's cool. It could be something cool or something.
You know what? Iconic is probably not because I work here, but we do lots of things for the guys. Barbecues. Every once in a while, we'll pick 4 or 5 guys out through the day and say, hey, come to the shop. And we like to mess with them. We beat them up to like they're getting fired, and then they'll show up and we'll be barbecuing for them. Or the paintball experience was super fun. We got to let out steam, our frustrations with each other by shooting each other. I mean, I was aiming for Jimmy's head all day.
There we go. All right. Well, that brings it up. The lovely Laura's over here is laughing because we did stuff like that, and we went laser tag once with the guys. Hey, and we're all on the same level when we do that kind of stuff. So yeah, everybody was gunning for me, and even the lovely Laura, she took like every guy out. No one messed. They knew who was tough then. Man, you actually bloodied a couple. I think you did. Right. They were in your way. That's right. So yeah, it's good to do that kind of stuff. On that same note, what's on the flip side? What's the worst thing a company that you've worked for has ever done, or that you've seen done? Just no wonder they can't get good guys. That kind of a thing.
A previous employer I worked for was the lack of concern, like of your well-being, like a number, not a person. Yeah. Overworked the crap. I mean, 99 hours in 5 days consistently for years and years, and then you say, hey, I don't want to work so much. Can we kind of slow this down a little bit? And then they want to chop your pay or make you do unsafe jobs and make you feel guilty for asking for help or special tools or safety equipment. Either if you're not going to do it, I'll find someone who will attitude. That's horrible. There's nothing overtired and overworked, and then hearing your service manager or whoever say, if you don't want to do it, I'll find someone who will. It makes you feel like, what the heck, dude? I've been busting my butt for you, and I'm nothing. You'll just put someone else who's ignorant in a situation. So that was my biggest thing I hated at a previous employer.
Man, that's a key thing, and it sounds like Iconic's got it figured out. Doesn't mean it's easy, because we hear it all over the world, and it's been this way for 30 years, as long as I've been in plumbing. It's always been difficult finding good guys, but nothing helps more. It's not necessarily about how much you get paid. I mean, we all want to make the most amount of money we can make, and it's that kind of stuff. But not feeling like a number, or not feeling appreciated, or not, we all can get a feel for where we're at in the pecking order or in the dog sled line. As guys, we can all deal with that, right? But not being appreciated at all. What? I had a question with that. I got to listening to myself because that's been a big issue, But
about his fish.
But you guys want to know about? We're getting a lot of comments about your fish. So the guys ask about. Ask about the fish in the background and your hat budget. You always have a lot of hats. I think Jimmy had a lot of hats too.
Yeah, I mean you can't go wrong with our hats. They're awesome. I mean, our don't want to wear them at work. They want to wear them when they're off work because they don't want to get them dirty.
Because they're cool.
I don't know if I can get into the fish story here because it might not be great or it might be incriminating me in some kind of thing. It was for when Mason came down from Texas. We'll just say that. The guys know where the fish came from.
Okay. Well, good, man. All right. It sounds like, one of the cool things by Iconic, and just, Iconic seems, and the guys that are watching, I get questions about branding and that kind of things. And it just seems like Iconic, Jimmy and you are, the guys are just doing a good job at just building a brand and a culture, and that was leading to my question, and with finding guys that line of being tough, holding guys up to a standard, but not allowing guys to be snowflakes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's how do you deal with that? Where you still keep with you guys hey, I'm here for you, but man, man up. Hey, this is plumbing and we got a job to do, and the water's off and we got to get it done?
Well, all of our guys are handpicked. We knew them. I've worked with a lot of our guys in the past. I know they're capable of anything. They have bad days. The best way I can keep them motivated is if they're struggling that bad, I'll show up and help them. And I don't do it to insult them or belittle them. If they're tired and they need a digger, I'll come dig the hole. If they need an extra set of eyes to look at something, I'll be there to help you out. And when I show up, I don't rub it in their face that, oh, you couldn't figure this out. Why don't I get a real plumber here? Jimmy and I work really well together. He's kind of the good cop. I'm kind of the bad cop. I'll be the tough one and say, hey, listen, no, you're being a pansy. Suck it up. Get your job done. But we don't have those problems here at all. Our guys, they're wonderful to work with. I can't say one guy here I don't want here. Nor do I want. They're just awesome. Every one of them have their own little niches in our company that do certain things better than others. They're all valuable to us, and we don't have to get on them that much. And that's what I love about Iconic. Everyone shows up in the mornings just ready to kick butt and just represent Iconic the best they can.
Because the guys overall happy. I hope you guys are listening, because Bishop's thrown down some really big nuggets of gold here. With the guys that are being happy, it sounds like Iconic knows, your players. You got your players in the right positions. You know their limits, and you're working them. I like the good cop, bad cop. I mean, that's how it was done in the Navy. The ship captain was dad. I mean, everyone liked the ship captain, and the XO was the son of a gun. That was the guy you just didn't want to be. I mean, he brought the hammer down. Now, every captain was once an XO. So it's a different, but you just felt, you had someone that you felt that was for you. The big guy was for you, and the XO was the one that was just kind of putting the spurs to you. And, that's good here. Hey, Chris, we got a comment from Chris. How do you guys deal with diversity, as in certain guys being better than others at certain tasks?
So not all of our guys are real good with boilers. They're learning them. They're not bad, but we have a couple good boiler techs. What I like to do is, if we're going to go PM a boiler or replace it, I like to alternate the guys that are going to go help, so they get a chance. So they're not stuck on. Some guys are on like a day-to-day project. They're always at the same job. It's repetitive. It's boring. I like to try to pull them and let them do something else. Everyone's here to help. Some guys are better at drain calls than other guys. Mm-hmm. Some people are just awesome with the cable machine. Some people are good at wiring, diagnosing things. Some are better at our residential calls, dealing with customers. A lot of guys are rougher on the edges, so we keep them in the apartment side because there's less communication with,
Right. I see. It's knowing your players, right.
They're awesome at their job. They get in, they knock it out. They don't sit around in their trucks smoking cigarettes, playing video games. They know, hey, the quicker I get done, the quicker I can go home.
There we go. Guys, there's a lot of gold in what just Bishop laid out there, and you guys with smaller shops, you can take those same kind of things. Like, Bishop, you were talking about how you would, let guys do certain jobs, you divide them up so they could learn those techniques. You can do the same thing with a smaller shop. You just say a guy's not good at installing water softeners. Well, go, you price the job out. Go ahead and send the guy with the idea that he's going to be there twice as long. Let him figure it out. You can, and then pull him out. And he's not your water softener guy all the time, but give him a chance to learn. And the guys appreciate that. I mean, that's why the guys probably a pretty good stay there at Iconic. The guys aren't turning. Right. That kind of a thing. So they're feeling like they're given a chance. Man, that is good stuff. Hey, before we let you go, Bishop, our time's nearing the end here. What's some good parting advice? What's the best advice that you've ever received that you could share with all of us guys?
Just always do your best every day, even if you're not good at it. Just as long as you're trying 100%, no one can be mad at that. And never say I can't do something, because you can always now. Nothing's worse than a plumber calling up saying, I can't do this. It's like, well, no, you can. You just need the right tools. See if that's knowledge, if that's literally tools. You can always do something. There's just no giving up. Just keep going.
There we go. Fail forward. That's what I call it. You just keep failing forward, pick yourself back up. And, that's how winning's done, right? Right? All right, man. Hey, Bishop, it's been great. I loved having you on the program and enjoyed having you here. We look forward to another time we can talk again. And there we go. Yeah, they just say, hey, we got a new view here. We got I like the iconic plumbing logo up there. That's pretty cool. But it's been great having you on, Bishop. Hope you enjoyed being on.
I did.
And look forward to talking with you again. All right?
Nice talking to you.
All right. Outlaws forever, right?
Right, Outlaws.
Outlaws for life. Let me get it right. There we go. But forever, too. There we go. All right. There we go. It's Bishop Flowers, service manager of Iconic Plumbing Service out of Mesa, Arizona, and also part of the Outlaw Group. And, good program there. It was fun. I like those. I like those Outlaws, Iconic. There's a lot of cool stuff.
Mess with them.
What? Yeah, I don't think I'd mess with them. Guys, don't mess with the Outlaws. All right. Hey, if you'd like to mess with us here on Potty Talk Live, be a part of Potty Talk Live. I'd love to have you on as a guest here. Hey, Potty Talk Live is about plumbing and about the plumbing industry and, more importantly, the plumbing guys, all right? We'd love to hear your story. You have a story to tell. You have nuggets of gold to share, and love to have you on it. So if you'd like to be a guest on Potty Talk Live, go to www.pottytalklive.com and just click the Be My Guest button there. And I think you fill out a couple little questions or whatever. Nothing big. Hey, the only thing you must be a plumber. All right, this is for plumbers. All right, so be part of the plumbing industry. I'd love to have you on. Also, I want to make sure I get you my free report, the 7 must knows to be $1 million plumber. So, want to make sure I get that in your hands. Type free down in the comments, and I'll get that sent right out to you. All right, so I think we're getting close to wrapping things up here. Also, since I was a commercial, I get another commercial in here. I do have a couple more spots open in my private coaching. Hey, private coaching is not for everyone. All right, you're going to be held accountable. I'm going to push you, but if that's what you're looking to get to your next level, to be successful, the bottom line is 95% of all plumbing businesses fail. And you don't want to be one of those, all right? And so it helps to have a coach. So if you just type champ there in the comments as well, I'll get the schedule out to you. We'll get you on my schedule to have our free 15-minute consultation. And quite frankly, it goes much longer than that, but because it's fun, all right? We get to talking and it's a good time. So there you have it. I think it's about time to wrap this episode up. And we'll look forward to the next time here. It was great. Yep. Hey, there's the sign. All right. Time to wrap things up. But before you go, I just want to remind you, as always, that you are purposefully and wonderfully created to do great things. So when you're out there doing your thing, as always, plumb like a champion. We'll see you next time.